everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Essence. And in today's video, I would like to discuss my beliefs on how a soul is made. Now, before I really get into the video, I'm just going to say, I am not 100% sure how the One creates a soul. I have no idea when the souls of everything in the universe was created. I don't know if there's new souls being made now, or if we are all old souls to some extent. However, I am just going to spout off my beliefs on the subject, because I find it an interesting subject, and, well, someone's got to. I have never seen another video on YouTube of any spiritual channel that I've watched where someone discusses this, so I might be the first one, I don't know. But these are my beliefs. Doesn't mean they're 100% right. I'm not even sure if they're 100% right. I'm just going to tell you guys what I think. So poltergeists, I know what some of you may be thinking. How the hell do you talk about, how a soul is made and then jump right to poltergeist? I promise you there is a connection to these points, okay? So just bear with me. So poltergeists are spirits that are created unknowingly through a person's negative psychokinetic energy. It can be formed through a lot of stress, anger, sadness, what have you. And these are people who have heightened psychic abilities. And it's bottled up so much that it becomes an entity on its own. And unfortunately, because a poltergeist is only made up of negative energy, the only thing it knows is chaos and causing havoc. Guardians, which I'm not sure if I've discussed them on this channel or not. I tried to make a video about it, but it didn't work out because I had left some things out. But, and I will make that video, but guardians are spirits that are knowingly made by a person. They are essentially the other side of a poltergeist. They are knowingly made, usually out of more positive energy, not negative, and become spiritual beings on their own. With enough prayer, enough time, eventually they become a collective consciousness on their own and start behaving as an individual human, like spirit. Gods like Odin and Zeus and other gods like that, they are real because we pray to them, because we believe in them. And they have gotten energy from so many people, thousands of people for, who knows, thousands of years. They have gotten all this energy and have become knowledgeable beings. They've actually become sentient. And that's because all these different energies from different people with different wavelengths, thoughts, feelings, all being balled together to form an energy. And this energy becomes smart, becomes aware. The gods I created, for example, from my own pantheon, which I haven't really contacted them in a long time, but the ones that I still do have helped me, and I've communicated with them. So in essence, there may be a way for us to create a soul on our own. As I said in one of my previous videos, we are gods. We have the potential of gods. We have the power to do that. It's not just the one. However, the one may be able to do it better than us because we are not nearly as knowledgeable as he. But it's a learning experience. I'm sure the one did not always know how to build a soul. I have no idea how old the one is. And I have no idea what created the one. But I have a feeling something created him, and he wasn't always as knowledgeable. That's my little 2 cents on that. The thing is, we are flawed. Every single one of us is flawed. Now, that isn't always a bad thing. Flaws are like little pieces of a mismatched puzzle that make us unique, make us interesting. None of us were meant to be perfect, and we never will be. However, the one is a consciousness that is in charge of the entire universe. Hell, may have even created the entire universe. They are not perfect, but they are well balanced in energy. And I believe in order to create a decent soul, we have to be balanced ourselves. So if you're still dealing with like trauma from your childhood, if you're still reeling from life, if you are still being burdened by things that happened years ago and are having trouble coping now, that's something that you must work on before you work on trying to create a soul. Otherwise, you're most likely going to impart those very same qualities into the soul, and they are going to end up just like you. Now, in saying this, I'm not attacking people who are dealing with this, and I'm not making light of it either. I have shit of my own that occasionally pops up in my mind, and I have my own little, bits of trauma and my own little issues. And, I do my best to deal with them. And it ain't easy. I know that. I've contemplated going to therapy. Don't really have the time or the money or the time or the money. One day I would like to see if it's for me. And, I haven't heard from too many sources if people liked therapy, but one source that I used to work with said, oh yeah, therapy's great. Even though he still has a ton of problems, and he's been going to therapy for years. Lost cause. But anyway. There's a lot of things that go into creating a soul, of course. I believe when the one created us, he gave us the capacity to learn. He gave us the knowledge to be curious. He gave us the ability to do trial and error. And there have been many times within many lifetimes that we have, like some of us more than others, have tried and failed things. Everyone has. Some of it may have led to our deaths. But that's how we learn. The trauma we go through in our lives, even though it's very unpleasant, and some people handle it better than others, is necessary to create us. There are many people who I have met who are good, decent people, independent people. They work hard and they're very nice, who have had traumatic childhoods and have gone through some shit. And there a lot of them are open about it. It does come up in conversations. I didn't ask, they just opened up. But they are the way they are because of the stuff that they faced, the stuff they went through. Now, not everyone handles it as well as those people, and that's unfortunate. Those people obviously have a long way to go. But Things like that, learning experiences, both good and bad, are necessary for our evolutionary growth as spiritual beings. So you would have to instill in the soul the need to learn and to hold that knowledge. We as spiritual beings, we learn things throughout in our entire lifetime. We die. We have all that information, but we are like reset. We don't within another reincarnation. So when we reincarnate after one life, it is reset on us. We do not remember physically, but our spirit does. Our spirit holds the knowledge of many lifetimes. Some people, it's hundreds of lifetimes. If we could tap into that knowledge, who knows what we could achieve. But we just keep learning and storing it in the best supercomputer in the universe, our souls. But of course, creating a soul, you would also need a conduit for it to be able to travel in different planes. Allow it the ability to raise its vibrations or lower its vibrations based on where it needs to go. When I'm in the astral world, I have gone to both the lower and upper astral realms, but only the sixth one, only up to the sixth one. I could not get to the seventh one. I tried. It is that energy, man. It's something else. It's not painful. It's uncomfortable. And my soul energy does not align. So I've been unable to get to the realm where the one lives. But still, our souls have the ability to change in vibration, to shift in vibration, depending on the situations we're in, the things we're feeling, and the condition of our conduit, the body. So all of that lumped into one, that's a whole nother issue. And the reason why we are in these, I like to call them meat robots. I would like to hear if you guys have a better name for them. But I like the term meat robots. So we're in these meat robots. Okay, keep it together. We're in these meat robots on this earth because what these meat robots are made of, this physical matter, is what can easily traverse in this world. We may be able to travel to other realms in our spirit body without too much alteration besides vibration. But in this realm, we need to actually physically be here. And the only way we could do that is to inhabit a body, which means the silver cord, which attaches our body to our soul, has to be inputted, and our human body has to be functioning. Without all our internal organs, the heart, the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, the brain, we could not live. We could not use these robots. And therefore, traversing the world in these things, these meat robots, would be useless. So that's a whole nother animal, is creating a necessary conduit to actually harbor the soul in. Now, could you make one? Maybe not in the exact form, because then you would need a whole bunch of science, right? You would need a whole bunch of science to build a human body, to incubate it from a small little being into a baby. And that would take a lot of time, a lot of money. Could you do something other than that, though? Could it inhabit maybe a wooden form, or paper mache, or clay? Part of me wants to say yes, but they would not be able to experience what we experience. Obviously, they wouldn't be able to experience any feeling because they have no nerves. They wouldn't be able to think because they have no brain. No, they wouldn't be able to speak because they have no tongue. And the mobile issues alone, they wouldn't be able to move as well, right? Now you might say, like, what if they only use the spirit? So they inhabited this, let's say, a wooden mannequin, right? It doesn't have a brain, it doesn't have lungs, it doesn't have a heart. Would it be possible to enchant this mannequin with this soul and still have it function based on just having the spirit form inside it? Didn't need a brain, didn't need a heart, didn't need lungs. It could just do those things on its own. I want to say yes. I honestly think that is possible. However, that would take an incredible amount of power and energy, and that is not anything that I have ever seen from anyone, not even myself. So I would love to get to that point one day. But until that day comes, this is not possible. If you somehow were able to put a spirit inside of a mechanical robot, that would be incredible. But what would be the consequences? You would have to make sure that the soul is balanced enough not to become a homicidal maniac, I feel like there's a lot more to the soul than just focusing your prayer and your energy into creating this thing. You have to be very specific about the types of energies that you are building off of it. The mechanism that you are working with and are tinkering with in a spiritual sense has to have compatible parts that allow it to not only traverse this plane with ease, but also the ability to be open to learning, to be open to new experiences without destroying those things or hurting those things. So, only the one himself could educate you on such things. However, that information I think is quite taboo to us beings on the lower level. Doesn't mean that one day we can't learn it. It's just right now that is not accessible to us. So there's a lot more to creating a soul than probably even I realize. But this is how I believe it is done. There's probably a lot more to it that I don't even know about. I would like to hear your opinions about how a soul may be created or the process. If you agree or disagree with me and why, I would love to hear that. Please put it down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. Please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And have a good day.